Well, the Eco 9.3 update came out, and it's got a bunch of stuff for tailoring. Yep, you heard me right. Tailoring. To be honest, tailoring's kind of required a bit of something. Yeah, clothes and that were nice. Furniture's cool. But it always seemed like you did everything at one table, which is a little counterintuitive compared to the way everything else in the game works. So what we got here... Why did you really wander out of existence there? That's odd. So here's the tailoring table, which is, this is a very nice model. I have nothing bad to say. It's very pretty. It's got a ton of detail. And what they've done is you now make all your clothes here. You can spin wool yarn. Oh yeah, by the way, wool is a thing. We'll get into that in a minute. You still make the washboard and the backpack. You make all the clothes and some of the furniture here. But in order to make a bunch of that furniture, you're going to need fabric. And then depending on what kind of fabric you're going to make, there's multiple types of fabric now. How do you make fabric? Well, here you are. It's the loom. This is another very, very nice model. It's got, again, some of the fun details that the devs put into it. It's got lots of little fiddly bits. You'll be using this to turn cotton thread into cotton fabric. How you do that I'll get to in a minute. They've also added advanced tailoring. So while these things here are made at the carpentry table, we're going to skip a couple steps and run straight up to the electric machinist table because I'm not drawing that entire thing out again. That gets you this. The advanced tailoring table, which again, the models, they're killing it. Absolutely killing it. It's got trays. It's got a sewing machine. Rolls. It's got a dummy. Like just all the stuff they've added in. It's so cool. I think this is for silk screening. I think that's what it's for. Silk screening or hot ironing. I don't know. I've never done that kind of stuff on myself. However, to play with this thing, okay, this is where you make all your fancy clothes. So now everyone's got their own outfit, which I'm not going to argue about because vanity items are something you kind of... The game needs a bit more vanity items. Like, yeah, okay, there's a bunch of clothes. You can spec them. You can color them the way you choose. But if you decided you're going to be X, you're going to be a farmer, you're going to be that, and you're still wearing the same clothes as everyone else, right? Now everyone's got boots, got pants, gloves. Gloves are a thing now. And we also have carpet. However, to use it, see, and that slides up like that. It's pretty neat. To make some of the upper end fabrics, you see some of this stuff required nylon fabric. You need certain things. So, nylon fabric gets made an automatic loom, which also makes you cotton and wool, which you can make over on the other table, no problem. But in order to make your nylon fabric, you need to make nylon thread, and Eco would be nothing if not throwing another machine in the way. Nylon thread is made from nylon at this thing called a spin melter. Which, yeah, tailoring just be like, went from having, your one little house with some stuff in it where the tailor lived to now like, here's a tailoring workshop. You can't just hide the tailoring table off in one corner or something. What? Bug in my face. Go away. You can't just hide the tailoring table in one side of everything and just have it be unobtrusive. Nope. Now it's got all of this neat stuff. Let's go take a peek at it here. So here we've got a nice tier 4 building. Oh yeah, by the way, a couple new doors. Corrugated steel fence. Corrugated steel. Bam. That's a nice sound, isn't it? Great big huge steel security door. These are it finally dawned on me what the steel fence door was for. So you're either gonna make a prison or that part of a bank where you have to go back in and get stuff. Right? It's like someone's working on the other side. And the coloring on that is a little off compared to the corrugated steel. Or maybe I'm not using the right wall, I don't know. Anyway, in here, where all this stuff is going to work. So cotton becomes the first thing you're going to work with. Cotton comes from a cotton ball. Because this is a test world that predates 9.3, I don't have any cotton in it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly cut to a brand new world, and we'll show you what cotton looks like in the wild. Alright, here we are in a brand new world. Go away, tutorial. I don't care. Go away. Here we are. Here is cotton, and you can pick cotton by hand. Which kind of makes perfect sense, because, well, that's how it's been kind of picked off the start before any kind of mechanization came along. So how much do we get here? We get 3 cotton bowls per. And you notice the plant itself doesn't disappear. So I expect we're looking at something like the way tomatoes are, where they keep growing, they keep coming back, or huckleberries, right? Where the plant, you're not, like when you pick, right? So I picked that rice and the whole rice disappeared, which that's good. Now, admittedly, you're gonna have to run around and get a whole bunch of this stuff, and because it's gonna be this or plant fibers. And plant fibers require a scythe, so you have the option of the two, but you either have to wait for grass to grow, or you can just harvest your cotton plants over and over again. And because certain things, I don't think anything requires wool. Cotton thread makes cotton fabric. Cotton fabric is, yeah, it's the fabric, right? It's used in pretty much everything. It's was using all the clothes, with the lamps, the furniture. Yeah, so it's an easy way of doing things, right? So, back into the test world. The farmer gets to be the guy that turns cotton, gets to make cotton thread. And this gives you cotton seeds. So, every time you're doing this, you're getting seeds to plant more cotton, which is pretty cool. Like, it's definitely, like, instead of having to craft seeds the way you do with everything else, you just get seeds as a part of having to do something anyway. And I'm fine with that. So let's order a few of these. And work. Unfortunately, there's no work animation for it. And no sound either. They did add this guy here, which is supposed to, I think it's supposed to straighten out the threads or something. So it turns into fibers, and then you go over here, and you go to spin wool yarn. Tell you what, you're making me 10 wool yarn. Oh, so for future reference, right? It takes, was it 4? How many here? 2 cotton bowls. Now, I've got max skills and stuff, so I think this has changed a bit. 2 to make 2. I could have sworn it was 1 to 1. I think it's, I honestly think that there, I could have swore. Anyway, the difference between doing it this way from here to there to make stuff, the loom is simply twice as efficient. So whatever this costs you to make that, that'll do it faster. Or if not faster, definitely more efficiently. So we turn 10 of these into wool yarn. I'm out of food again. Hello, go away. Hey. There. So we've got an animation here on the side where it's spinning thread into yarn, that's neat. This is unfortunately the only animation we're going to get. I tried making a shirt. It didn't really do anything. But it's an indication that it's working. It's kind of, and I'm fine with that. We'll be turning that into fabric over here at the loom. So we're just going to order up one work. And again, look at this model. So here, 1 foot, 1 foot. Shuttle goes across. Crank it forward. The reel back there moves. All so much of the model moves. Like, look at it. Now, granted, it doesn't move the fabric down any further. I'll take what I can get. There's also wool fabric. Wool fabric comes from wool yarn. Wool yarn is made at tailoring table from shorn wool. Where do you get shorn wool? From animals. And unfortunately, it's currently away from killing animals. So where bison, rabbits, and other things used to give you leather or fur hides, now you'll get shorn wool, which I guess makes sense. Bison have short, curly fur all over them. The two woolly animals are, bighorns and woolly carcass. Bighorns and mountain goats. So, yeah, they've got that. Actual sheep in the game would be great, but oh well. There's no farming in the game yet. I think that's probably for 0.10, somewhere around there. These give you wool depending on how big the thing is. Medium woolly animal. So instead of getting 3 leather, you still get, that gives you a pelt and wool. Okay, that's cool. Where you used to just get the leather, now you get that and that. Well, it's a whole other product. Note to self, pay closer attention. Okay, that's cool. That gets turned into stuff over here, and then you come back and you make your furniture or what have you. All the basic stuff, right? Camel pants, cape. Oh, excuse me. The backpacks. With the washboard. Then you come over here to this beautiful model. All this neat stuff happens. And over here is where you make the bear pack. It's that one thing everybody wants because it increases your carrying capacity. And then you get individual, trade clothing. Right? So, it gives you, where are we here? Boots. I think the boots all decrease your calorie usage by 10. Which I remember other work boots did. But these do too. Also, they put a bit of work into the recipes, not all just the same recipe. Right? So the farmer boot uses synthetic rubber and nylon. Because after all, you want to keep your feet clean when you're farming them nice and dry. The builder boot has steel toes. I thought that's a nice touch. I think the Smith does as well. Smith boots, yep. Steel bars. So it's, what I don't get is that the tailoring stuff. Yeah, you get a bowler hat, pants. I don't know. It seems by that point, do you really need all of this stuff? I guess you want to show yourself off as the tailor, or just have more clothing, I suppose. We'll take a peek at those in a little while, but first, so come over here. This guy wants nylon. Now, too many buttons. Nylon. You see this pile of nylon? I tried to put this here. Notice how many? I only got 66. Yeah, stuff is heavy. It is just friggin' heavy. I don't actually know how nylon is thread. To be completely honest, I've never had to make it, anything like that. The machine, it's like you feed the nylon in there, this coil melts it, and it's extruded, would be the word. Run out and put onto rolls, and that gives you your thread, nylon thread. And then this guy here. Just make a few of these. Work. It's pretty, isn't it? This guy runs back and forth. Those things are raising and lowering threads. Unfortunately, like, it would be really nice if the color of whatever you're making changed depending on the fabric you are making, because that, like, in the menu, wool is blue, nylon's orange, wool and cotton are white. So while it would be nice to have a different color spit out here, maybe someday, who knows? I don't think they want that much work in the animations. But it's, oh, the thing is, it's immense too. Look, it's like, over here, I think it's like 3? No, actually, there, 5. 5 across. Just huge. And what that gets you is this stuff out here. So on top of all the clothing you're going to get, we have carpet. So let's grab this. This is cotton carpet. Comes in a few different forms. That's the basic cube. Full wall. Now, one thing I'm hoping they change is they get rid of that border. Let's get back here. So, put you down. The border doesn't help. If this was a seamless transition, this would be a really nice wall. Because when you go for the floor, your choices are floor with a border or floor without one. So now we can actually have, right? We can have a decorative floor. I guess the real issue is it's not going to go all the way to the wall. If you put a regular wall here, there's still going to be that gap. So it's not quite going to go to the edge of the wall block. Other than that, it's nice. It's really nice. It's a tier 4 block. Yeah, I guess you could build with it that way. It's made out of lumber and whichever, that is loud. Lumber and whichever cloth you were using. So that's wool. Give me, yeah, there we are. So same kind of deal. Just slightly different colors. Give me that. Give me off. There. They all look pretty much the same when you stack them up like that. They don't have any directionality, so it doesn't matter which way you put them. They're all going to face the same way. Which, this one here might bugger a few people up. They walk in and all the animals are facing the wrong way, and they've got to turn their entire house. Somebody might be that picky. Just might. Not me. I think I'm more partial to the cotton one anyway, which is kind of omnidirectional. The nylon, I don't know about the cured pattern. It's not a bad pattern. It's a little dull. I'm sure it'll make a better, like, if they take the if they take the border off for the walls. Oh wow, that's really grainy. That's some visible texture there. Will you like that? You have fibers. You have, wow, I take back what I said. One other little thing they added. I don't recall the fishery being this nice looking. Maybe because I never really made one. I always saw You only ever made like the one thing out of fish, and it was charred fish. And to be honest, yeah, you're still making charred fish. However, what they added was, where is it here? Fish stew. Right here, 13, 4, 13, 10, 10. How's that compare to anything else? Low on the carbs, high on the protein. There's meaty stew. 4, 13, 10. Okay, so it's the same thing as, it's essentially a meaty stew. Yeah, okay, they didn't even, they're working on it, obviously. This requires you to char fish and then fry them. Or I guess in cooking terms, I think it's braise. And then, essentially, it's campfire fish sticks. That's what it is. It's another thing to do with fish. I'm not going to argue about that, because fish are actually pretty plentiful and they don't run away very fast. You can get a whole bunch fairly quickly. Still waiting for sushi. Still waiting. Not going to hold my breath, but I'm still waiting. Anyway, it's been what's in the stuff I found in the 9.3 update that's interesting. Oh no! Hey, before I forget, one last thing. One last thing that is actually really important with the tailoring update is that where are you here? They've changed. The tailoring update is reflected in some of the. I've never made a modern site. I've never made that. Anyway. Lumber. The tractor or the truck? No, it's the new ones. That's what it is. So for these three guys here, it used to be cellulose fiber for the seats, which essentially, oh yeah, this is the seats. Definitely, obviously the seats. Now it's nylon fabric. For the crane, the excavator, and I'm pretty sure it's for the skid. Yeah, there we are. So it's pleather seats, I guess is what you'd call it. I would. Leather seat in the truck would be a lot nicer. Let's admit, wouldn't you rather have leather seats? Like, admittedly, things gonna be sitting in the sun. And the advanced circuit, did that change? Did that graphic change? I feel like they've changed something there. I feel like it. Maybe it's been so long since I've looked at it. Oh, there's an industrial elevator. I haven't played with that yet. There's a couple other bits and bobs, but I still got to play with them. The update literally just came out like today, and I got to go fiddle with a bunch of stuff. And that means that I have to shoehorn in all three of the advanced machines in over here somewhere, just to keep this sprawling mess current. I'm not looking forward to that. Anyway, as soon as more eco content comes out, I'll be very, very happy to share it with you, and I will see you in the future.